Alright, welcome guys. So in this video I'm gonna go through and explain how geofencing works. So this is a marketing tool that you can use to attract your competitors' audience or specific customers that you know have a specific shopping pattern and move in specific areas. So what you would do is that you would set up a geofencing around a specific area to attract that customer into your ecosystem of advertising. So I have a couple of examples in this presentation here. So I'm going to show you how I set up this campaign and my thought behind it, because you always need to have an end goal in your strategy with your marketing campaign. Otherwise, you're just going to throw money in the water. So with this campaign, this example campaign that I set up here, this is in this case I'm representing the ABBA Museum, and what my thought behind this advertising campaign was that I have set up a geofencing around the Vasa Museum because the people are usually with their families around in this area, and most of the time it is people from both Sweden and outside of Sweden. So many times it would be tourists, and it is a big possibility that tourists have friends in the city that they land in. And also when you are with your family, your way of communication, a lot of the times people are using the messenger, the Facebook Messenger. That's kind of like a standard these days for your communication. I know that's the case for my family, so that's what I'm going for in this case. So this family or this tourist is around in this area, walking around, checking out the Vasa Museum, and I will place a tag on this customer or this potential customer with tickets to the ABBA Museum. As soon as a customer or a potential customer moves in this area, he or she will get a tag placed on him or her, and I will directly send them an advertising into their messenger app. And you can do this, you can choose to do this onto the normal Facebook platform or directly into their messenger. It totally depends on you how you want to set up this campaign, but in this case I only have two examples on how to do this. But that's a great way of doing it, and it's pretty direct, and you can use this strategy in a couple of different ways depending on what you're advertising for, of course. But anyway, this is just a great way of catching potential customers that you know are moving in a specific area. So I have another example here, which is for I'm representing a Mercedes dealership. So I want to attract the customers that are in the Porsche Center and looking into buying a Porsche. So in Sweden at the moment, it's very popular with leasing contracts. So what you can do here in this campaign, you will go into the Porsche website or onto the Facebook page, where you can go and you can see exactly what type of campaigns each dealership are running at the moment. And this goes for any company that are running ads on Facebook. You can go onto their Facebook page, and you can go and you can check out exactly their copywriting, what type of ads they're running. You can't go into and see their audience, what type of customers they are targeting in their advertising, but you can see a lot of details of the advertising. So you would go in there and you would check out, and you would see what type of offers they are running at the moment. And then you would simply make a better offer to this customer that you know are moving in this area. And then once again, you can choose to either advertise directly onto their Facebook platform or on their normal Facebook, or you can send them an advertising into their Facebook Messenger. And that's once again how you choose to set up the strategy. And where the setup of the strategy happens, it's here on this page in the Facebook Ads Manager. So yeah, it's a lot to say about these and how you would set up your campaign. Really, I'm not going to go too far into that here now, because it just totally depends on specific cases how you choose to set it up. But yeah, that's a totally different subject. That's going to take way too long to explain all this. But anyway, here you have the messenger, or if you choose to do an engagement, that's probably one of the two you want to do if you want to do any of these two campaigns. If you want to just welcome or trying to attract these customers into your funnel, and then at the later stage, depending on what you're advertising for, a good way of doing it is video views. So what you would do with the video views, you would create either a slideshow, or if you have a video that you would target people that have been within this area, and you would, at stage 2 of this campaign, you would target people that have watched over 75 or 50% of the video. So that's kind of like a mini funnel that you would create. So you would funnel out people that are not interested, and the way of measuring that is from video views. So that's one way of doing it, or two ways of doing it actually. And yeah, this campaign or this strategy can also be used on YouTube, for example. So you can set up different types of geofences around specific areas also within the Google Ads platform. And then you can serve them advertising on YouTube, which is a super efficient way of doing it. And it's actually still not very expensive. And it's a really good way of advertising. And yeah, once again, it's not really all that expensive, because once again, if you, depending on what type of strategy or what type of advertising you choose to do on YouTube, the one I always recommend and what I use is the advertising before the video starts, because you will not pay past. You only start to pay after the first 3 or 4 seconds. So it's a great way of getting seen by a lot of people for a very, very low cost. And yeah, here we have a couple of different advertisings or advertisings that you can use in YouTube. So through video ads, video discovery ad, in-stream ads, pre-roll ads. Then you just have the bumper ads, which are, I don't think I have them in here. Anyway, it's just a couple of different ways of doing this. I don't really want to go into too much of what all these ads means and what they do. I just want to show you the geofencing and how you are going to be able to catch people that have been moving in a specific area. So you kind of will attract either your competitors' audience, or if you want to attract an audience that you want to send direct marketing to. So if you have a restaurant, for example, you can place a little geofencing around an area that you know a lot of people are moving, and you can advertise for your restaurant, and of course send a really, really great offer and get the commitment from the potential customer. And that's also something you can do. You can have a booking directly from Facebook here. So let's see. Okay, yes, and here is something else that is pretty depending on what type of company you have, but this is a great example on how to attract international customers. So a great way of doing geofencing is for taxi companies, for example, around the airport. So you will have a geofencing around the airport, and you would, or hotels or restaurant or tours or whatever, because you know people that are on the airport are usually international people. And if you do not want to attract your native customers, if you only want to attract tourists, that is also something that is possible on the backside of the Facebook ad platform, because you can choose the language that you want to attract, or the language that you want to show your advertising for. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can utilize the geofencing in many different industries as well. So it's a great way of advertising. And here we have what I was talking about before, the bumper ads and the other types of ads that you have on YouTube. If you have the pre-roll ad here, for example, you would also get a little advertising on the side here. And this is another type of ad that you, when people are searching for specific when they're searching within YouTube, they will, you would have an advertising. It's pretty much identical to Google, because YouTube obviously, or Google obviously owns YouTube, so it's a very similar type of advertising on YouTube like it is on Google. And here we have some information of pretty much what we've been talking about through this presentation. So geofencing allows you to attract customers judging by their behavior and location. You can attract your competitors' audience with a better offer. And you can also do some data mining to create custom audiences. And something that I didn't mention earlier was that if you have, for example, a big convention in your city or anywhere around the world that you know it is going to be a lot of customers, or a lot of potential customers that are interested in your specific niche. So for example, if it is a watch convention, or if it is any type of convention, furniture convention, that is a great opportunity for you to set up a geofencing around that area and do some data mining and attract these type of customers that are moving within this area, and then at the later stage, of course, advertise towards them. So this could be useful even if you have an e-commerce store, not even if you're just a local business and you just want to kind of hack your competitors' audience. This can also be used for e-commerce stores. So if it is like I was saying, a watch convention or a furniture convention, and you have an e-commerce store selling that type of product, you can collect all that data on all these customers that are moving in that area, and then later serve them and advertising. So that's another way of using it, and to really attract the right type of customers and kind of shave off a little bit of the funnel, because you know that these customers are already kind of interested in this specific subject or this niche. So it's in a sense a little bit more qualified customers than just doing a mass advertising on Facebook. So you will kind of shorten your sales funnel a little bit by doing this. And yeah, you can also obviously choose to show the advertising for people that are just connected to Wi-Fi, either on a mobile or a desktop. This is just these last two things are just a couple of things that you can choose extra in your campaign. So I'm going to leave this PDF file below here, so you can take it and go through it yourself and absorb the information, because I know it's a lot easier to sit by yourself and read through it and kind of understand everything that's being said through here. So yeah, that's it for this one here. Okay, so that's it for this presentation. I hope you learned something, and I hope you will utilize some of these things here, because there's some really, really powerful things here, and some really cool things that you can do with this that have the potential of really increasing your sales if you use this concept and these strategies in the right way. So have a nice evening, morning, day, all the best, and take care of yourself.